All right, welcome to my tutorial on how I use AutoTempest to search for cars. So in this example, I'm going to be searching for a specific group of Porsches, specific years, specific types, and I'm going to start here on autotempest.com. AutoTempest is a search aggregator, meaning that it allows you to search multiple platforms instead of going to Facebook, Car Gurus, Craigslist, etc. It allows you to search multiple platforms in one place, or at least gets it done in one place and brings you to all the right places without jumping around. So we're going to start on a basic search. We're going to search for Porsche, any model in my example. You can be very specific, but follow along here and you'll see where I'm going with this. I'm not looking for international. I'm not going out of the country. I'm not going to London. I'm not going to Mexico to buy cars. And instead of hitting search, I'm going to hit the advanced search. So with the advanced search window open, I'm going to roll down here. The Porsche is still there. The model I'm going to leave blank, and you'll see why here in a moment. Now, if there were specific things like keywords, for example, let's say you wanted a car with sport chrono, you might type the word chrono into that keyword. You don't need to do the whole thing. You can be very detailed right here. It gives you an example on how to put in specific search terms. You can even use a negative sign to put in to make sure that you have a keyword removed, right? So let's say you don't want chrono, you would put the minus sign in front of chrono, that you don't want that feature. Okay. Now, in this case, because I'm going to zero in a different way, we're going to leave everything blank except for the year. I want to look for the 996 and 986, maybe the early 997 generation. So I know that's from 1999 to 2007. Let's say 1999 to 2007. I'm not going to fill in the mileage right now, but I want manual transmission. In this generation, in my opinion, manual transmission is the only way to go. There's not a big market for the automatic transmission cars, and I'm not going to fill in anything else. Drive type, any of that. Uh, Doors. I want sports cars. I don't want the early SUVs, so I'm going to say no more than 2 to 3 doors, which of course will give us just the coupes. And I'm not going to worry about cylinders or colors or anything like that. But I am going to finish by clicking on private party. I really don't want to look at what other car dealers are selling them for. I want to look for a private party sale. That's usually the best place for negotiations, rather than a dealer. That way I can also get history on the car. So I'm going to hit search. And what we'll find is that we're going to get all of these these different selling places, from eBay to Auto Trader to Car Gurus, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. You got it. They're all here. Okay. And we can go and open up each one individually. Um, I'm going to look at Craigslist results, though. Just out of, we'll start with Craigslist. Okay. And what this does is, instead of having to search multiple regions on Craigslist, it's popped up Craigslist, right? So here we've got the Craigslist. And for example, I'm going to just pick one at random. Here's a 2002 Boxster S. And sure enough, it's a manual transmission, because that was the piece that we had. Um, it's listed as a 4-wheel drive. That's a pretty impressive Boxster. I didn't know they ever came in 4-wheel drive. Of course, that's a mistake. Now, one of the issues that you'll find, right? So let's say you find this car, and this car looks pretty cool. I mean, it has 100,000 miles on it, and that's okay. The Boxster is a great little car. It looks pretty clean. It's obviously, as we said, a manual transmission. It's got good wheels, but it doesn't have a VIN number. Well, and it doesn't have a good description. So The first step with this particular car might be to save this link, put it in your notes, and then send Martin a text message that says, "Hey, Martin, interested in your car. I'd like the VIN number, please." And we get the VIN number for the car, and we can start doing some research on the car. This looks like a pretty cool car, and I'm not sure about the price at $16,700. That might seem a little high, but we don't know the details. It looks like a pretty cool car. Now we go back. If you'll notice, what AutoTempest does is that each time you open a window, so let's say that we wanted to open Craigslist, okay, um, it's going to pop up a new window. Let's go to Car Gurus, and you'll see that it's going to redirect us to Car Gurus, but it leaves our Search Tempest, our AutoTempest window open. So here we are on Car Gurus, okay, and Car Gurus is a little tricky, right? Because they will have sponsored ads. You'll see sponsored ads at the very top. And remember, I'm going to suggest that you want to look for private party listings. Private party listings will generally be the ones like this in a driveway or in a different type of a setting, okay? And you can find right here in Car Gurus, when you get there, just go to private party. Car Gurus does like to show you everything. Even when you come in from AutoTempest, they're going to show you everything. But here's another example. This is a private seller on basically the same car we just looked at on Craigslist. The difference with Car Gurus listings is, there it is, the VIN number is going to be included. Now, this car has 65,000 miles on it, and it looks like the price is not too far off what it was listed for, or what a different one was listed for on the Craigslist ad that we just looked at. But now, this is where you've got a car that you can actually do some homework. This car looks pretty clean. This is it's a good looking little car. I've had one of these in the last year or so. Good cars. So that's how I use AutoTempest to search. You can even go to Facebook. It will bring up Facebook listings, and there they are. Now, the primary issue with Facebook listings, of course, is that the seller does not list a VIN number, except in a few cases where you look, for example, this is a car that I listed, and this car actually will have a VIN number listed, and or it'll have, as I list the actual Carfax report as available, because sometimes the listings don't like it when you put numbers and various things in the listing. But I make sure to fully disclose that, hey, Carfax is available, just ask me. And then I get real people actually checking things out. I don't mind people asking for the VIN number. That tells me that they're not robots. So there you go. Interesting car there, from Valley Motorsports, and someone that we know actually selling a race car. So pretty cool stuff. That is how to use AutoTempest to hunt for cars. Now, an additional final tip, I would have a notepad or OneNote or wherever you can take notes on your computer. I would have OneNote open so that you could take, for example, ooh, this looks like a good listing. I would copy that and I would put that in my notes so that you have some references while you're hunting. So when I'm hunting for a car, I might have 5, 6, 7, 8 cars that I have inquired about. And I need to keep a list so that I can keep track of those cars and where they are. If you have a login for Car Gurus, you could just hit the heart up here in the top. You could save that car. You'd have to log in. It is now saved in one place on my Car Gurus listing, right? So that's how I hunt for cars. Hopefully this will help you.